I went to the Pursuit of Truth. So I was watching the film Netflix Sky Dance, a Michael Bay film, Six Underground with Ryan Reynolds. And there was a bit in there at the beginning where he witnesses this dictator who gasses ordinary civilians, including children. Um, and when you watch that, you feel like, as it's meant to make you feel, is that why would a man do such a cruel act uh, to these harmless people, to this child? And it's his motivation for then ditching his life and trying to make the world better because he can't do it with his billions and he can't do it through the system because of red tape, which is a complication that we can all see. It is the problem. The system is impenetrable in trying to correct itself. It doesn't lend itself to being corrected because people always want to protect it, and that's why countless things go on. But the point that I was thinking is how movies, and I know the reason they do it is because they want to create a blockbuster and an emotive feeling, but this idea that when you see this man use an nerve agent on these children, you feel like what's being done there is wrong. But yet, we don't realize that there's lots of this kind of thing, the same thing happening, but in a minor way, in the sense that all the, like in the UK, how many millions of children are living under the poverty line. In lots of countries, there's poverty and there's suffering and all this kind of thing that's going on every single day. And those crimes that are going on that won't, I mean, if they put it in a movie, probably people yawn or walk out. It won't get the same reaction because it's everyday things. The everyday policies, the everyday system that we're living in is, say that the nerve agent that man used, or if you want to talk about Hitler or Saddam Hussein or whoever, they killed, let's say, hundreds, thousands, maybe tens of thousands. And yet or millions in the case of the Holocaust, but when you look in the sense that world leaders that are controlling the countries and the people that they're within, that they're meant to protect the system that they're ongoing around the world, how many millions are affected by this throughout the last, say, 200 years? If we just clip it at that figure, how many have died unnecessarily because of our fascination with pride and distraction and greed and power and borders and all this kind of stuff that I talk about in these things? But we don't see those people. We often see those people as heroes, whereas they're as villainous as that dictator that uses nerve agents on his people. It's just, you don't see it because it's easy to see that man is a bad man. It's not easy to see that the leader of a country where there's so many children suffering, where there's so many children that are not getting enough meals, or parents having to go without meals, or people living on streets because they don't have a house, or they can't afford things, or committing suicide because they can't take the system, the life that we're all living or are allowing in other parts of the world, because we say it's not anything to do with us because we divided it up and we possess only bits of it. That it's okay for us to forget about these people suffering, to charge, to have this illusionary thing of money and create debt for them when you lend money to them and you make out it's charitable. All these things that are going on, all these world leaders that are part of this, these organizations, these businesses, etc., that we all know about. We've seen it in movies, we've seen it in documentaries, we've seen it with our own senses, what's going on, how we're all living. They're just as villainous, but we don't see it. And we carry on voting for these people, and we carry on keeping this system ongoing. It just made me think that why is it they can't make, like I guess Charles Dickens did with Scrooge, these illustrate these world leaders that by neglect or by their choice of living or keeping alive the same system that is causing all this suffering that's going on every single day, the unnecessary competition of mass producing different pharmaceutical medications when we could all work together to try and get cures for things so people don't die of things. This kind of villainy, the ordinary villainy of that comes with power and corruption and controlling people and areas and divisions and etc. I mean, it has many different forms, many different names, and we don't realize that that's going on. And where we would feel disgust at seeing a nerve agent being used on people, it's the instant reaction you can have and think, I've got to do something about this. We don't see it when we see these world leaders that are allowing how many countless millions every single year suffer or die. No? Am I wrong? Take care, take it easy, God rest in peace.